Hi guys, this is September's currently reading shelf. Now, I have to say August was a complete and utter disaster for me, as you've probably already seen with regards to books. I just could not get into any of them. I think the main thing was that I'd either skipped some of them already, so they were coming back again, or there was a couple there, if you remember, that I didn't remember buying, which was quite strange. And when I originally bought some of them, I thought, oh my god, that blurb sounds really good, I'm gonna love it. And then it comes around on my to read shelf and I'm like, what appealed to me about this book? It was just really, really strange how it worked out. So I think I got rid of about 3/4 of August to read shelf, whether it be or listing it for sale on Amazon or putting them down to the charity shop. It really was that much of a disaster. The standout book for me, I would say, would be The Mountain Between Us. That was such an amazing book. Not such an amazing film, however, because they completely changed the story and took away the heart of it. The Mountain Between Us actually made me cry, and I'm very much a visual person. I can't think of any other book that I've ever cried during, but The Mountain Between Us, I was reading the acknowledgements and I was sitting there, tears running down my cheeks, and I was like, I kind of worked out what was going to happen as well. I was like, I think I know where this is going to go, and then it went there, but I still cried anyway. Explain that one if you will. I'm not quite sure I understand it. I'm hoping this shelf is going to be a better shelf. I have a couple of repeats on this as well here, so I'm a bit iffy, but the Alison Weir books I am looking forward to reading. I actually might read those first because those have kind of been coming up, and then I've got, as you'll see in a minute, I've got the rest in the series coming up. I've been picking out those from other shelves there. But let's get on with it. Let's get into the video and see what this month is going to be about, shall we? First book is The Legacy of Elizabeth Pringle by Kirsty Wark. I can't remember why I bought this. I did get it used. It sounds like something I would have picked up. I don't remember why I bought it, but there is something in here that says, yes, you would have picked this up. It's quite a thick hardback. It's quite heavy. I am actually, like, my wrists are going, why are you holding such a heavy book? Stop it. Put it down. Put it down. Just wait till you get to the Alison Weir books, wrists. Come on. I hope that'll be good, but I think I'm going to read, as I said, the Alison Weir books first. So next up I have The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window. I love that cover. I love her. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Anna Kendrick. Loved every minute with this story. An alpha with a heart and a heroine with a backbone. Looks again like it's one of these self-published books. Sounds alright. I mean, I think I picked it up for the cover more than anything else. I really do like her. It's quite a simplistic cover, but I don't know what it is. There was something about this that intrigued me and I picked it up, and I think I got it for quite cheap. Then next up is a very appropriate book for me. It's How Do I Look? The Year I Stopped Shopping. Well, instead of clothes there should be books all over here, but I did buy 2 pairs of jeans the other day in different colours in the same style because I already have a pair of the jeans and I'm wearing them right now, but I love the style of them and they fit so comfortably as well. I think my thing is, as well, with this kind of thing is I'm probably not the world's greatest clothes shopper. I stick to a lot of the same things and I'll wear jeans until they are falling apart on me. I will eventually chuck them out. But I'm quite, once I find a pair of jeans that fits me well, I will literally wear them to death. I've got another similar book like this. I can't see where it is at the moment, but it's kind of along a similar vein to this one. There's the author's name, should you need it. And it's very much a kind of cover that you would find that a school child had drawn. The next one is one I have actually read before, and it's a large format paperback, and quite a thick one at that. I have had this for quite some time. It weighs an absolute ton at the moment, but the sequel I bought, and I've just realised that I'll probably need to reread this one again, because I don't even think this one would appear on my Goodreads. It's been that long since I've read it. I don't remember being that keen on it. I think it did take a little while to get into it, as far as I can remember. $9.99 originally, but there's 2 barcodes. It's quite strange, isn't it? So we've got that one, which is Murder on the Titanic, and it's the Mysteries in Time series by Jim Walker there. A lot of reflection going on. And then we have Voices from the Titanic by Jim Walker. Also the Mysteries in Time series. So this is the sequel to Murder on the Titanic. Follows on with the same character. I don't know how this will be actually. Again, it has two barcodes on the back there. The only book that I've really liked that kind of followed on from the characters after the events of the Titanic was No Greater Love by Danielle Steele, and that took them right throughout the kind of generations. And I still love to go back and reread that book because it actually engaged you into the characters at the same time. I mean, the Titanic crash, sinking, happened within the first quarter of the book, and then the rest of it carried on following the characters as they recovered and throughout the years and First World War, everything like that. So I'm not sure how this will be, but I'm not sure if this isn't good if I'll keep the first one. So I've got Pretty Is by Maggie Mitchell, and it's perfect for fans of The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine, which I've also read. I did go on to read another book of that author's. Can't remember if it's male or female right now. I think this author has found their niche and they're going to stick to it, because it was a very paint by numbers of the Ice Twins as well, just a different situation. It sounds okay. Again, I'm not really sure what attracted me to it initially. Maybe it was the Ice Twins, but that was maybe before I'd read it, or I've got it for pretty cheap. Quite an interesting title as well. It doesn't really tell you much. The cover doesn't really tell you much. You've got these feet, legs, coming down a set of basement stairs, I would probably say. I've got the official Nora Roberts companion. I'm not sure if I'll read this or not, because I think it's one of those more books that you would read maybe bit by bit. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, there doesn't seem to be much text there. There is a lot of photos. Well, apart from the first few pages there. I mean, I still haven't read all of her books. I have all of the J.D. Robb books. So I might read it. It's got quite a nice cover. I don't know if my camera's picking up the kind of almost feathering effect on the book there, but it's really nice. It's a dead weight again, so it's quite heavy. So I've got a lot of heavy books coming up on this shelf. So hopefully, I'm in two minds about reading this one. One side, I'd like to read all of her books before I read this, but in other words, when's that going to happen? So next up I have the Alison Weir series, 6 Tudor Queens. I've also got another 2 books coming up after this of the same series, which, as I said at the beginning, I've picked from other shelves. So this is the first one. This is Katherine of Aragon, who's described as the true queen. She was obviously Henry VIII's first wife. As you can see there, it's number 1. It's got the nice crown and rose. I think they're all going to have different symbols on the outside. Again, a heavy book. You're looking at over 600 pages for this, not including the timeline and the reading group questions at the end of this book as well. So you've got quite a hefty tome there. I do like Alison Weir's books. I initially got introduced to her by reading Philippa Gregory, as I'm sure a lot of people would have done, or vice versa there. And you know that there's a lot of research that has gone into these books. I mean, you can't really write a 600-page book based on very little research. It wouldn't end up being 600 pages. So for me, these books are worth it. I also like how you've got the two almost stones on the queue of the Queen there. You don't have it anywhere else. I tell you, these books are a workout for the arm. So next up in the series, I've got a 6 Tudor Queens. Again with the kind of rocks, gemstones on the queue there. And this is Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession, with the symbol there. Obviously the most famous is Anne Boleyn. I suppose that's how I got started, because I found her quite a fascinating character. And I do like the pictures in this. Their gowns were absolutely beautiful at that time. And obviously she has the necklace as well. So again, another heavy book. Another book that's had a lot of research gone into it. So including the timeline and the reading group questions, you've got 531 pages. I'm not sure why the first book, the reading group, and the timeline the reading group questions and the timeline, their pages weren't numbered. And then the third one, I don't think the fourth one is out yet. I haven't seen it. I got these possibly from Book People, because they tend to put the hardbacks down to quite a reasonable price when they're first out. So this is Jane Seymour, who is the Haunted Queen. Following on from Anne Boleyn, the symbol on the spine again. I like how it's all kind of corresponding in the same layout. I'm hoping these will be good. I think they will be. Alison Weir is quite a good writer. The Jane Seymour book is again 531 pages. And then I thought I'd read this one after it, since I don't have the fourth book in the series yet. This is Queens of the Conquest, which is England's medieval queens. Ew, I don't like that. I don't like it when it's sideways like that. It annoys me. So this covers the period between 1066 and 1167. So this is probably going back quite far. I don't really know much. I know a reasonable amount of the Tudor history, mainly focused around the kind of Anne Boleyn era. Oh, the first volume in this epic new series, of course it is. So this will probably take us all up to a kind of similar period, maybe to just before the Tudors. After the medieval and Tudors and history, I have After Dead by Charlaine Harris, which is what came next in the world of Sookie Stackhouse. Now, I got rid of all my True Blood books. I liked the first few, but then it got to the point where it was very formulaic. It was being spun out ridiculously. I really don't like it. I only got this for £1. I think it was in one of the pound shops. It's no big loss if I don't want to keep it, or... I mean, I'm not going to remember half of these characters now, that's the problem. I didn't carry on with the TV show either. It did end up going to a different channel that I couldn't get, possibly. And I just gave up on it. I didn't like the credit sequence either. The credit sequence gave me the heebie-jeebies. Quite a thin book. There's also just over 200 pages, but you've got a message from the author, and you've also got a sneak peek at the next book called Midnight, which I haven't picked up. I don't know if I ever will pick up any more of Charlaine Harris's books. I think she is in the same vein as Janet Ivanovic and doesn't know when to stop a series. I have another Titanic book. This is The Watch That Ends the Night, which is a novel by Alan Wolfe. Quite a nice cover. I got this very good on Amazon. I suppose that's true. How do you tell a dramatic story when you know that everyone already knows the ending? I've had quite a few people say this to me. Why do you read books about Titanic? It sinks. It's like, duh, do you think I don't know that? I just think there's always stories to be told. There's always stories to be told about each character on the Titanic. I mean, yes, some of the books aren't the best. Undertaker's Reports. See, offers a breathtaking, intimate glimpse into the lives of 24 passengers and crew. That's interesting in a way, because he's only picked out select characters who were on the ship to tell their story. Next up, I've got The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart, which is the first book in the Merlin trilogy. So I'm hoping this will be good, because I'll get the other books if that's the case. If it's not, I don't have to get the other books. Woohoo! I mean, for me, this is going to be quite interesting to read because the Merlin that I know is from the Disney film, and he's quite an oddball, eccentric character, as most of them were in the Disney films. But the other two books there are The Hollow Hills and The Last Enchantment, both by Mary Stewart. So this is probably going to stick quite closely to his early life, finding out more about him. As I say, the Merlin in the Disney film wasn't really given much opportunity to expand. So I think this will be a good series, hopefully anyway. I think it'll be quite interesting to see it from Merlin's point of view and to see the famous story of King Arthur told from Merlin's point of view. Now, I'm not sure which way round these next two books are supposed to go, because one's a prequel and one's, well, I don't know. But I've got Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I've read a couple of his books. Never read Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. I'm sure there's a film of that as well, but I've never read or watched that one. And I think this is a really interesting concept. Fans of Stephen Weir and John Green. Nah. I hope this will be good. It's quite a thin book, but it does sound quite interesting. The text is alright. But I think it's quite an interesting concept. I don't know how I would feel if I picked up a book on a bookshelf and saw it was a Book of Dares. Then I have The 12 Days of Dash and Lily by the same authors. Ah yeah, so this is a sequel then, right, that's fine, I've got it now. It's quite a thin sequel. I feel like it's more the same. I'm probably going to be reading this at the wrong time of year, but they do like their characters. You've got Nick and Nora, you've got Naomi and Eli, Sam and Elsa. So if the books are good, I'll probably go on and get the other ones there that were mentioned and see if they're any good. Hopefully they are quite good, because it does sound like an intriguing storyline. Again, I'm not sure if I've got these books in the right order. I picked these up in the charity shop when I saw them because they're kind of probably going to be in the same formula as Anne of Green Gables was, except based around a character called Emily. So I'll have to try and sort out which book comes first. I'm just loading them up in the order that they've coming up in at the moment. I think I have the other, yeah. I think that's going to be the first book, isn't it? I didn't get this one from the charity shop. I think I got the other two from the charity shop. This one's from Amazon, but I think that's the first one. I'm not sure, but we'll check. We'll check together. So next up on the shelf is Emily Climbs. So I think this is the one before Emily's Quest then, because Emily's Quest seemed to deal more with her getting married, and this seems to be before her going to school. I think Emily of New Moon is the first one, but luckily I have that right here. So I think it was these two that I got from the charity shop then. I didn't know there were other books, like kinda, I've never gone looking for them, to be fair. I read Anne of Green Gables. To be fair, I've never completed the Anne of Green Gables series, which is quite bad. I think I've read the first couple and I've tried, but they kind of go in a different... I liked the first couple of books, but then it goes completely differently, and obviously the film, or the kind of mini TV series I suppose it was, with Megan Follows as Anne, it went in a different vein and it didn't really follow the books. And I think I saw that before I'd seen the rest of the books, and then I was disappointed because they didn't follow on. So that's the couple of lightweight books. We're going back to the heavy books. We've got Teardrop by Lauren Kate. Obviously I've read the Fallen series. I liked it to begin with. Wasn't too sure about the last couple of books, like Unforgiven and Rapture. Did like the first couple of books, and she always has the most stunning covers. Can we talk about how beautiful this is? How she seems to be wearing a dress made of water. I know this one's a series as well. These authors who like to can't just write an individual book. I've already checked, this is the first in the series. I don't know about this, it sounds kind of weird. I'll have to see what it's like. And then next up, another heavyweight is Khaled Hosseini. I've read The Kite Runner, I've read A Thousand Splendid Suns. There's a film of The Kite Runner. I wasn't keen on that, it was just okay. But this is And the Mountains Echoed. It's got another book out called Sea Prayer, I think it's called. I haven't got that one, or it's just out, or it's just coming out, but I haven't seen that one yet for a reasonable price. I like this, it's just got a single gold feather on an otherwise blue page there. There's the explanation for the feather then. I think this will be quite good. Again, it weighs a ton. My wrists are going, oh my god. And then I'm probably going to have to carry a lot of these on my back to work as well. Probably won't be able to take them out of my bag very easily and read at my desk, but never mind. The next one I got from the charity shop, and it's the Sybil Shepherd biography called Civil Disobedience. I don't really know much about her apart from Moonlighting with Bruce Willis, which I've never seen, so I've really had no kind of experience of her. It does sound quite interesting though. How I Survived Beauty Pageants, Elvis, Sex, Bruce Willis, Lies, Marriage, Motherhood, Hollywood, and the Irrepressible Urge to Say What I Think. I think she's got a story to tell, definitely. She's not some childhood actress or reality TV star in their early 20s releasing a biography. You've got some black and white and colour photos dotted throughout here. Meeting the Queen. Oh. sure I've put this off before, but I actually think it'll be quite good. The last celebrity biography I read was Kirsty Alley, and I think it was The Art of Men. I wasn't keen on that at all. And then the next up, we have The Lives She Left Behind by James Long, and I loved Fernie. I really enjoyed that book. I might have to go back and reread it actually before I read this one, because it is, oops, the receipt is still in it, from Poundland. Hardback book for £1, yay! Oh, I would have to probably reread Fernie again then. Because it looks like it's going to follow on, or at least feature some of the original characters from Fernie. So I will need to get that. Where is it? Ay, ay, ay. So there is my copy of Fernie, which had, I think the cover initially intrigued me to it, but I love this book, and I think my dad does as well, yeah. Mike and Gally. So I'll be looking forward to rereading this book then, because it's been years again since I read it, so I will be putting this one up here. I got these next 3 and last 3 books from a charity shop quite a while ago. I don't know if I've read another of this author's books, but I liked the cover on all 3, and it also has the on it there. So you've got 3 books in here. So you've got Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness and Enchantress. Sounds kind of Twilight-esque. I was quite impressed to find all 3 in the charity shop though. It's not often that you find something like that. Normally if you hand in a series to the charity shop, people take what they haven't already got. Clearly I'd got these just in time. But there's the sequel. Again, another very pretty cover there. I don't know if it's a sequel, but there's a trilogy of books in each. So, well, it's a volume I suppose, isn't it? Volume 2. So you've got Dark Angel, The Chosen and Soulmate. Looks like they're all kind of based around vampires. So again, Twilight, a lot to answer for there. But again, quite thick books, but not weighty books. I think the paper's quite cheap. And then last but not least, and the 3rd volume here. Don't find her as captivating as the other 2, but in this one you've got Huntress, Black Dawn and Witchlight. A lot of creasing on this one. That's the end of September's currently reading list. Not quite on to September yet. It is the 29th of August at the moment, at the time of filming this. So I'm hoping to get this edited and uploaded for this week. And I definitely think I'm going to read the Alison Weir books first. I'm going to kind of skip ahead. I'm looking forward to reading those. Plus they're quite weighty, so I can get them at least started. But there is a lot of weighty, lengthy books on this shelf if you think about it. I'm looking forward to this shelf. It'll be interesting to see what L.M. Montgomery, like what her books are like apart from Anne of Green Gables. Murder on the Titanic and Voices from the Titanic will definitely be interesting to go back and reread that and then see what the sequel's like. Be also interesting to go back and read Fernie, see if it still has the same grab that it had the first time I read it, and then read The Lives She Left Behind as well. That'll be good. A couple of books I'm a bit iffy about, like Pretty Is. Charlaine Harris book will be not too much hassle if I can't get into it. The next shelf as well I am looking forward to. So hopefully it's going to be a case of I'm going to have a good lot of books coming up and I won't have as much of a disaster as I did have in August. And hopefully, judging by the length of some of these books, they'll take me a little bit longer to read as well. I am currently ahead of my reading goal on Goodreads as well. I've read 140 odd books. I think it's about 146 books this year. So I was at originally 150, so I've upped my reading goal to 175 to read before the end of the year. And I think if I do that, or possibly I think I've already surpassed last year's target. I think last year was 135. But I do tend to read a lot of short books at the beginning of the year. Like I think I read, was it The Secret Seven that I read at the beginning of this year? I think I read all of those books. So it's beginning of this year. It's already, we're going into September. It's quite crazy. But this is the currently reading shelf of September as it stands. I hope you enjoy this video. Again, I will leave all the list of books down below along with my ratings as they get read. Have any of these, or if you've read any of these, or if you ever want to discuss anything that's on my shelf, or why I have so many books, or why I can't stop buying books, just leave a comment below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!